Yeah, pretty much like a contractor, so people can work because my employees they get a card as well, but they're underneath me. I take all the responsibility.
You're like the umbrella.
Exactly. So what happens is like if spills or things happen or we're doing things illegal, like my employees they might get a little fine or something or slap on the wrist from the state, but I can. It's a lot of things we could do are felonies. I can get up to $20,000 fines and up to 5 years in jail, and so it all and that's what makes the owner responsible, and that's why we can't franchise this company out legally and things like that because I'm the license holder. So through the license that I take responsibility, and that's what makes business owners make sure that their technicians are everything, because if their technician screws up, their technician gets a slap on the wrist. The owner that holds the license is the one who takes the test and did all the work, so they're the one that gets the true penalty, can go to jail and things like that. So those are the things I had to do first.
Yeah.
And that's why I work for other people.
Yeah.
So I worked for other people. I went and got all those licenses.
And they paid for that.
And
Like how much do you think that probably costed them?
It was like $2,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not that. Well, if you're young, then I guess.
Yeah, but he did the smart thing. He got it, paid for by another company, and then he was able to branch off from it. And
so we did this thing which made our taxes a pain. So the first year, because my business partner already had a landscaping company. So we became a DBA of his landscape company, so we used his insurance because we had to have insurance. So one insurance policy was covering two companies.
Right.
So, but it was a very weird setup by taxes and things because we were a DBA of his landscape company.
So he filed those taxes all under one.
Yeah, so it became, and we only did that till Turf Organics could get enough to become its own entity. Then we split and we became an LLC. And then we got our own insurance and things like that. But that's a way, that was kind of like a little loophole again that we used because it was like, we really don't have money, and I quit my job pretty early to jump into it full time. It was a big gamble. The money and things weren't really there.
So now you guys have it all separated.
Yes, now everything's completely separate. So we actually use the same logos for both companies.
Really?
But their name, his landscape company's called Live Aloha, and we're Turf Organics.
Aloha.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, they're from Hawaii, so that's kind of, so they're into that. So they're into all that Hawaii stuff and tropical love and stuff like that. Especially his wife.
I love
really
that.
is.
I want to meet this guy.
Yeah, and his wife. They're great people. Like I said, if you meet them, you would probably be like, that person could be my business partner. After meeting for a couple hours, I mean, they're good people. So that again, going back to that, that's how I kind of got that. But we use both companies like that, and they market for each other, even though they're totally separate. So now what we do is like the office is at his house. His company pays for half, my company pays for half. So like, I'll show you guys this. I know on a podcast you can't see it, but if you look at the business cards.
Yeah, we've got cameras.
Yeah, if you look at the business cards, one side's his, one side's mine for the companies, so we split cost on them. We do the same thing for like our flyers and pamphlets and everything. We put both companies on, so both companies split the cost. Both companies split the cost for the office. Our office manager who we hired, she works for both companies, so the hours are split between her. So that's how we can have a little bit more because both we're sharing. The companies are sharing spaces and things.
And you're pretty much promoting both.
And we're promoting both, and I like it too because it's funny. People don't
kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, and people don't exactly. So like when I sign up a Turf Organics customer, they need landscaping. They get landscaping. After they do a big landscaping job, I come in and hey, we have the perfect company that can keep everything looking good. So then we come in and we do that. So they work well for each other. But also, it's funny because a lot of people don't know that, don't notice the names are different and that we're separated. So I get all the time from people like, oh, I see your trucks all the time. Well, Turf Organics really only has one truck.
Yeah.
And it has another truck, but I don't have logos on my other truck yet.
Yeah.
So, but they see all the landscaping trucks and they see our trucks, so they like people are like, oh, I see you guys all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't.
But that's how smart he is to know like, oh, let's just put it on both. It's like, you're pretty much double dipping without really people knowing that you're double dipping.
Yeah, and now we've got it off of different books and everything, so now it's not all intertwined and crazy. It's just intertwined within shared spaces, but books and finances are totally separate companies.
Yeah.
So but we treat them as the same, and we give that benefit to our customers too. Right. So we call them sister companies. So our customers get the benefit because they can call the same office and get the landscaping and get the spraying, but they're actually separate. So customers are benefiting heavily from it, from not having to deal with two people or feel like they're being contracted out.
Right.
Because if it's like, oh yeah, we'll do the sod job, and then they hire live aloha to do the sod job, and then Bill's landscaping company comes out and starts throwing sod down. They're like, what the heck? Because a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Like I did sales for a pest control company, and that's how they did their landscaping. We would sell it, but they would just they would bid it out to other people who would do it for cheaper and make the profit. And then people would be like, well, I hired you because I liked your company and I thought you guys were going to do it, and they caught a lot of flack for it, and people were really disappointed. It's like, I liked your company, but you guys subbed it out to someone. It's not really your company. So when we do this, people see like, oh, it actually is the company that is doing it. They really, really like that. So they get a big benefit from it.
It's a cool business concept.
Yeah.
You know,
especially
I really like that.
Yeah, because it's kind of similar to what we're doing. We have Jacksonville Entrepreneurs, but we both also do stuff together. Like she's a photographer. You can say I'm a photographer, but I do other things as well, like tutoring and stuff. So if they find Jacksonville Entrepreneurs, they're going to find her photography business, and then they'll find my tutoring business.
Yep.
And then they'll say, oh, what else does he do? Oh, he edits videos. Oh, he can take my son's basketball pictures.
Oh, he can do podcasts.
Yeah, he can do podcasts. So
but you have like 3 of them. So.
I have 3, but whatever.
Colby, the podcast plug.
Yeah, wow, a podcast king over here.
And I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, no, I have 3, and it's just one of those things that you just figure out what you want to do, and just as you said, you just jump right in.
Yeah.
Obviously, with us, we have a family, so it's kind of like we do have to think about our family first and make sure, okay, this is what I want to do. Like, I'm not trying to put a strain on anybody. Obviously, they come first. And granted, I have a good wife that allows me to do a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Same. Shout out, husband.
Yes, shout out to your wife. Because I talked to her the other day, and she was like, I know what you do, but I actually don't know what you do. And I'm like, I try to tell you, but you're like, eh. But now she's like, she's into it now.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's listening to it. And I just did a podcast yesterday with my coach. And I was like, the first 30 minutes you're going to really like. After that, you're not going to want to listen to. So yeah, if you have like someone like a family or just people that support you, then just be around those people. Because everybody else is going, oh, you don't hang out anymore. It's like, well, I have to live.
Yeah.
And this is what I like, and eventually it'll get to the point to where I can hang out more.
Yeah.
So that's my little rant.
But honestly, like as I've gotten older, not that I'm like the old wise queen or anything, but I'm just so much less interested in like hanging out and doing nothing. And now I'm just so like goal oriented, like I'm constantly thinking about what I can do here and what I can do there to better myself and my family and that's what my happiness, that's where my happiness comes from, is my family being happy. I like to juggle like 17 things at a time and
be
do
able
good.
to and support them. But you said something that got me back to you.
What?
You started when you were young.
Yeah.
So how do you, because usually everybody's like, oh, live your teens, do this, but you were just like,
you were like, no, I'm business.
I'm business. It could have, and my first thought is it came from your dad, but I feel like it might have just like kind of clicked with you. So how did you know, like at that young of age, that I'm gonna do lawns? Obviously, you said it for the gas for your car, but then you already have like maybe your 5-year plan or 10-year plan. Like, how did you know that at such a young age?
I mean, I really, well, I can tell you, like, I lived a lot before everybody else, and that was my biggest benefit. Like, I was, like, in middle school, like, I was getting in trouble. I was doing things people are doing now in college. And I got a lot of, like, I remember when I was in middle school, I was already drinking and smoking and nobody else was, and I was an outcast for it, And my brother got me a lot of it. I have a 4-year-old, 4 years older than me, so he was doing those things.
I forgot.
Yeah, and so I got kind of dragged into it, but I'll have to tell you, so I was like, in middle school I was a trouble child, but each year as I got, like it got less and less and less, and then same thing in high school, I didn't care about my grades or anything, all I did was drink, smoke, party, hang with friends. So like, I actually got all that out of the way, kind of, and I think it was actually a great thing. Like my parents and everything, worried about me and stuff like that, but especially my mom. But it ended up working out so well because it was funny because as everyone who made fun of me was getting into those things, I was getting out of them. I kind of got over, like, I already did all that. I was over it.
Like, that was fun, but
and I just realized, like I said, I just started mowing lawns and just like the hard work, something in the hard work, just like, it just gave me such a feeling. I remember, like, because in summertime when I was a kid, I used to go party every night. And then I got this job, and I worked Monday through Friday, and I busted my butt out doing landscaping. It wasn't easy work, so I wouldn't go and party. I was like, I'm exhausted, I can't go. And then when I go on the weekends, like, it was almost a lot